This is how I have configured purchase event on more than 40 different stores in the last 4 months using Google Tag Manager, the newer customer pixel sections, and Shopify store. To do that, click on the bottom left button which says settings on your Shopify backend, and then scroll down to the customer event sections. Click on add custom pixel on the top. Since this one is for meta purchase, let's call it meta purchase data layer and click on add pixel. This next setting is really important, so make sure that the permissions are set to not required and data sale is set to does not qualify as data sale. If you will scroll down a little, you will find an option for a code snippet. This is where we are going to add the code snippet that has been provided in the description of this video. On the blog post, if you will scroll down a little, you will find a section where the code snippet is there. So let's just copy the code and go back to our Shopify store and paste the code right here. Great, you can see that this is going to trigger a purchase event on our store. If you will scroll all the way to the top, you will notice that the Google Tag Manager code snippet has already been added, but it just says GTM example and we don't want to use that. So let's go to our Google Tag Manager container and click on the ID on the top right here. Let's just copy the ending part and replace it with that purchase thing right here. Perfect. Once the example has been replaced, we can click on the save button on the top and then click on this connect button. Once I am going to click on this connect button, this customer pixel will be connected with our Shopify backend. And once we do a purchase, we will be able to see that. But before jumping to the third section, let's just verify if everything is working all right? So let's go to the front end of our store. And since we already have some items in the cart, I'm directly going to the checkout page. Let's add some test information. I can see that the delivery information is already added. So I can use a testing bogus card. So let me do that. 1234 123 tester, and once I click on pay now, this is where the purchase event is going to fire. If I right click on the page and open the inspect tab and go to the console, this is where you will be able to see the purchase event that is firing on the page. Let's search for data layer. Great, you can see that the purchase event has been triggered and it has all the details about the e-commerce currency, items array with the information about the items as well as the shipping, text, coupon, transaction ID, etc. This has also information about the product information, text, shipping, value, etc. Now we can move on to the third section where we are going to configure tags, triggers, and variables that we need to track this data layer event and send it to the Facebook pixel. So let's go to our Google Tag Manager container and let's start from the template first. We need two different templates. First we need is for the tag template and the second one we need is a variable template. For the tag template, we can use an existing one which is created by the godfather of tracking, which is Simo. So let's just search for Facebook and we can use this Facebook pixel archive tag and add it to the workspace. Once this tag has been added, we can go to the next step. Instead of searching it, you can use the template that I have created for you right under the description of this video. So let's click on import. Once you have downloaded this parameter, you can select this file which is eCommerce parameter generator.tpl. Click on open and then hit save changes. Once the template has been created, which you can see on the bottom left corner of the page right here, click cross button and go to the variables. Now we have to create three variables in order for this thing to work. The first variable is the pixel ID. So let's create a constant variable for this one. Let's scroll down and select constant. To get the variable value, I'm going to the Facebook Events Manager and then going to select the dataset ID. Let's paste it right here and let's rename it meta pixel ID and hit save changes. The second variable we need is the e-commerce items array. So let's click on new and let's select the data layer variable. The variable is inside e-commerce.items array, so let's select that and let's rename this whole thing as DLV e-commerce.items array and hit save. Once this is done, we have to create a new parameter which is e-commerce parameter generator. So let's select that. The only thing it requires is the e-commerce array, so let's just select that one and import the DLV e-commerce parameters array. Let's rename this as e-commerce parameter generator and call it meta because this one is generating value for meta, and hit save changes. We are done with the variables and the only trigger we need is the specific purchase event trigger, which is a custom event. So let's click on new to create a new custom event and let's call it purchase. Let's rename the whole thing as custom event purchase and hit save. Great, now we can go to the tag section to create the Facebook pixel tag that is required. So let's click on new, and since this is only going to fire whenever the purchase event fires, we can select the purchase trigger. And for the tags, we are going to select the tag that we just created a few minutes ago. First thing we have to do is make sure that it has access to the Facebook pixel ID. So let's import the Facebook pixel ID. The name of the event is purchase, so let's select purchase somewhere here. And the next thing is object properties. Let's load the properties from the e-commerce parameter generator variable. Let's save the changes. Let's call it meta purchase and hit save. Unfortunately, we won't be able to test this using the preview section, so we have to submit the changes. Let's call it tracking academy and meta purchases and hit publish. Great, now we can verify if everything is working all right. Let's go to the front end of our store again. Unfortunately, now we don't have any items to the cart, so let's just add one item to do the test conversion. Great, instead of adding it to the cart, I'm just going to directly buy it now because we don't have to go through that checkout process. Great, let's add test emails, test@tester.com. Let's put every information as tester because it does not really matter. For the testing card, let's also select 1234, 123, and let's click on Pay Now. As soon as we will click Pay Now, you will see that using the Chrome Helper extension for Facebook Pixel, we can see that the Facebook purchase event has fired. And it is also tracking all the information about item ID, currency, coupon code, and all the good stuff that we need. We can also verify the same information through the Facebook Event Manager through the test event sections. Once you are here, you can scroll down to this section and add the URL of your website. Let's click on open website, and since again we don't have any items in the cart, I'm going to select a different item this time. Instead of adding it to the cart, I'm just going to directly click on buy it now and do the same checkout process to verify if everything is working all right. Let's use another test email. Let's call it test@tester.com, and let's add the same information here, and let's use a bogus card for payment and hit pay now. As soon as we will click Pay Now and the payment has been processed successfully, you can also verify the same information using the same helper extension on the top. Otherwise, if you go back to the event manager, you should have received a purchase event. And it has all the information that was required. It has text, shipping, coupon, content name, order ID, etc. And this is how we successfully track the purchase event on the newer customer pixel section using Facebook Pixel. If you want to see how to track the begin checkout event, click on this video right here.